All right. Welcome to the Modology Motorsports podcast, Season 2, Episode 2. I'm Blake.
And I'm Marcus.
Hi, Marcus.
Hi, Blake.
Man, I had a project this week, well, this month,
Yeah.
that I wanted to work on. And have you ever worked on the car and as you start a project, you find something else that's ruined? You have your good intentions to go out and do something simple, and then doing that something simple, you find something a little more terrible.
Yeah. Yes, I do.
Well, I took and the Focus had a valve cover leak,
Yeah.
so I was gonna just change the valve cover. I bought some Ford blue spray paint to paint the valve cover with.
Yeah.
And I get the valve cover off, and as part of it, you got to take the cover off the timing belt on the top, off the cam pulleys. Dude, I pulled the cover back, just pulled it back, just to look, and the belt had cracks, the timing belt had like cracks all the way around it.
Yeah. No, you sent me that photo, and I was like, I get the funny feeling that is going to be like, it's cheese, like, in any way, shape, or form so quickly.
Right. And the thing was, I mean, in the video, I was kind of like, oh, well, this sucks, and I just kept moving, but honestly, I wanted to just kind of cut the camera off and cry. I was like, God almighty, not now. I got to do all this now.
Yeah. It did look awful.
Yeah, and then it was to the point where it was like, once I changed the valve cover gasket, my wife was going to take the Focus back over, and, I'd get the Toyota back, because I didn't really, there was a lot to do, and I think I said last episode, as part of my punishment, I had to drive the car until everything was fixed. So then we had that big delay pop up.
Yeah.
So got that done. Well, got the valve cover gasket changed. So I figured it was a new gasket, and then it'd be okay for at least a little while, at least to take the valve cover off again and then put it back on. So did that, but in the meantime, it started another overtime week, so I had to order parts. So I got parts ordered. I ordered the timing belt set for the Focus. Now this was on like a Friday when I was doing the valve cover gasket. So I went ahead and ordered like a timing belt kit that had it had the belt, it had the timing like idler pulleys and a water pump.
Yeah.
So get all that stuff ordered on a Friday, and it shows like a delivery date of like Wednesday or Thursday. And I was like, well, cool, because the next Saturday I'm gonna have that Saturday off. The weather's gonna be kind of nice. It'll be nice to have that to go ahead and change it. Yeah. Well, I get the confirmation from FedEx that it's coming, but this says Friday. And I said, okay, all right, that's fine. Friday comes around, doesn't show up. And I was like, well, if it shows up tomorrow morning, that's still fine. Then I'll just do it, as soon as it gets here. Nope, didn't show up Saturday. Wasn't going to come in until Monday when I was back at work.
Not great then.
No, so it took a day off work to get the timing belt changed. But that being said, all right, so I got the timing belt set in, ordered that. Overall, it took me like 5 hours to change the timing belt.
Yeah.
And in retrospect, it was like one of the easier timing belts that I've done. Really, I mean, it wasn't as complicated as I thought it was gonna be at first. So got that done. The only thing I had a problem with was the crank pulley bolt.
Yeah.
I was worried about, because I couldn't break it loose. There was nothing you could mount to the crank pulley to hold it still while you turn the bolt.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So I kept looking at it, and I was like, what if I just take this breaker bar with this socket and put on here and kind of wedge it against the ground and then get in and just bump the starter a little bit. So I was like, well, what's the worst that'll happen? It'll knock the socket off. It'll break the breaker bar or something like that. So I got in the car, prayed, and then just bumped the starter just for a second, broke the bolt right loose. And I said, thank God.
Damn.
So got everything off. I got one of the other things I ordered, they actually came in on time, it's like a timing set for the Ford Focus.
Yeah.
And it's got this flat blade that goes, when everything's at top dead center on cylinder 1, it's got this little blade that goes in there that holds the camshafts together. And then it's got a pin that goes, you have to take a bolt out of the block, and the pin goes into the crankshaft.
All right, cool.
And it keeps everything lined up. Well, all that stuff came in, and got all that stuff put in the car. Luckily, I got it off eBay, because I was like, I'm not going to like torque this crank pulley bolt back down with this pin in there holding it. I'll find some other way to hold it, because it's just a little piece of steel, and I don't want to like break it off in the block.
Yeah.
So, got all that done. That was like $8 for that timing like set. And my father-in-law did the timing on a Chrysler Sebring, and this almost the exact same tools were like $50 for him.
Really?
Yeah, and it was $8 for the set for the Focus.
Fuck.
So that's nice. All right. So now the Focus is like the most refurbished car in the squad. It's got a new timing belt. I changed everything, changed all those tensioners, changed everything but the water pump. And the only reason I didn't change the water pump is because it's not run off the timing belt, and you don't have to remove the timing cover to get to it. So it's just a matter of pulling the pulley off that pump and then taking the bolts out of it and pulling it out of the block. So it's not like I have to take off. The only thing I'll have to take off again is the serpentine belt to do it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to keep that for now and not put that in. The window, quick recap, the window on the Toyota on the passenger side was kind of janky. It was moving real slow, and then one day it just finally popped and stopped working.
Yeah.
I got the parts in to fix that, and that's the next to-do list, because, man, it doesn't matter how much tape you put on this window. You know, I've been using like duct tape and stuff, but as soon as the tape gets hot in the sun, the glass starts sliding down again, and I'm so tired of fighting with it.
Yeah, I can imagine. You just imagine a nice warm day, and then you're just looking around, and suddenly you just see the window just go. Whoop.
Now, well, I usually don't want to fall until A, it's raining, or it's like real early in the morning when it's dark out, and I'm driving down the highway, and I keep hearing like wind noise, and I'm like, what the hell is that? Why is this so loud? I'm like, oh, the damn glass is sliding down again.
Yeah.
So that's next project. And then we got a fun project coming up. I bought a backup camera for the Focus. The stereo we bought for it a couple years ago has the hookup for a backup camera. So I went on eBay and ordered a nice $20 backup camera, and we're going to install that. It's not like a priority install like fixing the window, but that's just something I want to do.
Yeah.
A little bit down the road. And then finally, so the Cobra dash cam the wife had in the Focus was all like fucked up. The mounting thing to the windshield had broke, and she just quit using it, and I started missing out on half my regular dash cam clips. But ordered a brand new camera, and I figured I'm going to get one. I'm going to test it in her car. If it looks good, then I'll buy one for my car, and then buy one for all the cars eventually. But it's the Anker Rove A1 dash camera. Are you familiar with the brand Anker?
No, not really. I've only seen anything to do with what you've been doing, so.
All right. Well, Anker, I've got a couple of their products already. They started out making like portable like batteries to charge your phone with.
Yeah.
And I've got 2 of those, and they've lasted for years, and they still charge fine. They still charge fast. So I kind of grew to trust this brand a little bit. It's making a quality product. So I picked up one of their dash cams. I made an install video. You can see it at on the on the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And then I sent you a clip of the, or I got you to check out the video to show you the quality of this camera. And what'd you think?
Yeah, it was absolutely night and day. It's ridiculous. It's like you're looking, the other ones you were looking sort of through like a pixelated fog.
Yeah.
And this one is like clear, absolutely crystal clear. I'm like, wow, I want one.
Yeah. It's like the other ones you're looking through a screen door almost.
Yeah.
That's what it made me think of. But it is up, and it is in the car, and, you know, the nighttime, like, the ability of that camera to perform at night is what really impresses me, because I can still pick up, like, plate numbers and stuff in the dark now, and that's what I've been missing was, you know, a good nighttime camera, because it's usually dark when I go to work, dark when I come home, and dark when my wife gets off work, so all that works out well. And I'm going to try to replace, like I said, the other ones, that way there's some consistency in the dash cam videos in the future, where all the cameras are hopefully the same quality before too long. And we're giving one of these cameras away. We are, but we'll talk about that in a little bit when we get to the to some site news. Well, Marcus, I've rambled and rambled. What did you manage to get anything accomplished?
Not really. Well, as Blake and quite a lot of my close family and friends know, it's been a pretty tough beginning of the year for me. So after the last time we did our podcast, it's been fun. Not. So I've been taking mostly personal days more than anything else, and just doing some work and bits and pieces like that. But yeah, even up until today, literally I only got back home about an hour ago, and I've been out all day for the last 2 days. So my weekend has not been fun at all in the slightest. So all fun and games. But yeah, so basically, no, I haven't really got anything done. But I think at this point, the listeners are pretty much used to me turning around and saying, I haven't got much done, because I have. And that's probably because next week I've got my friends coming over to give me a hand, and we're going to be working on some of their cars and then doing some stuff on the Mini. So I'm hoping to get a few bits and pieces sorted out on it then.
All right. Well, all right. Yeah, I just figured Marcus has had his hands full with a lot of things that have not been car related. So understandable. You got to get some of the other stuff taken care of first.
Exactly. So, you know, family and bits and pieces come first before cars, unfortunately.
Before the race cars.
Yeah, unless the car is actually for the family, in which case then the car comes first if the family needs it.
Right.
Exactly.
Oh.
You know that one way too well.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I got to keep at least 2 of these cars running, so we have something to drive, and it hasn't been the Hondas lately, so...
No. The Honda has been sat gathering, tree dust.
Yeah, it got the most I've done with it lately is I moved it from the front yard to the backyard, and that's been it. Now it's sitting on a jack stand in the back because it's one of the Kumo tires. My good tires are going flat on the Civic, so I got to pull it off to see why it's leaking, what's going on with that, and consider pulling all 4 of them off and just bringing them in the house. So
yeah,
I'm not sure yet, but I don't know. It sucks. I'm ready for springtime. I want the rain to stop so I can work on the cars.
It would be nice. It's either that or you're going to end up having to work on the Honda to make it, or the Civic to make it into a boat car.
Right. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I've seen the pictures. I think it was on the news as well.
Yeah, I sent Marcus some videos. We've had some flooding, some bad flooding around here lately. It rained for like a week straight almost every day. And it's been the yard is like a sponge, and man, there's just water just sitting everywhere because everything's so wet. It just doesn't have anywhere to go.
Sounds fun.
Oh, it's terrible. All right, anyway, enough of this terrible shit. Marcus, we got some news. You want to talk about some news?
Yeah. Where were we? News.
Well, I'll start with we'll talk about this story here. The first one, the story and the pictures from this. We'll put up some pictures. Are from Super Street Magazine. Honda has decided to give a couple of their cars the Midas Touch. Are you familiar with Midas, Marcus?
Yeah, I know the story.
Where everything you touch turned to gold.
Yeah.
All right, let's pull a couple of these up here. Let's see. There we go. All right. So, Honda's celebrating 50 years right now in Australia. And to celebrate, they're releasing gold vinyl wrap versions of a couple of their most popular models. In the picture here, you see the Honda Civic Type R and the Honda NSX, and I think for gold, it looks all right. I kind of like it.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of gold, but yeah, I wouldn't say that they're awful. But at the same time, I don't think I've ever heard of a factory car coming out in like factory wrapped vinyl.
Yeah, vinyl wrapped especially. Yeah.
What's the base color on it then? That's the question.
White, I'd imagine, or gray, probably.
Maybe. You never know. I'm trying to think. What's the? I can't think what Honda's base colors are, because I know Toyota changed them. Red is now like the base color for Toyota.
Yeah.
That's the one that comes free. If you want to get anything else, then it costs extra. Like you do. That's why my Yaris is red. Because I was like, I'm quite happy with it red.
Right. I know that Accord I've got, it's like that body style, the only ones you ever saw were gray, white, or green, and that was it. You'd see a black one occasionally.
I've seen a lot of green ones.
Yeah, but it was gray, white, and green were like the three most popular colors in that body style of Accord.
Yeah.
Well, all right.
So the cars are wrapped in a gold chrome film that's been laminated with a clear film to help with reflections. They've also got a special badging and satin black accents.
I got up a picture now of the special 50-year anniversary on the back on the wing of on the Civic.
Yeah.
It's 50 years in Australia on the back. So I mean, it's cool. I mean, it's nice to see them do something special, but it gets a little crazy. Anniversary gold editions include the Honda Civic Type R. This is in the cars. Honda Civic Type R and the Honda NSX. But it doesn't stop there, Marcus.
No. Also available with the gold vinyl treatment are the CBR 1000RR Fireblade motorcycle, the CRF 450L motorcycle, and the CRF 50F kids fun bike.
And Honda's family is a little bit bigger than cars and motorcycles. You can also get the HRU 19 Buffalo Premium Lawnmower, gold vinyl wrapped, and the EU22i generator with a gold wrap treatment.
Oh, no. You know that EU22i? I've got one of those generators, and they are shit hot.
Oh, yeah?
They're whisper fucking silent, and they can power anything.
How about when the VTEC kicks on them? Does it double charge?
Blatantly.
I got another picture here. Yeah, the bike, the kid's bike, and the motorcycle. They've even got 50 years in Australia on the side of the generator and on the top of the lawnmower. And I like the gold bagger on the mower. That's all right.
Yeah, it's weird. I actually, strangely enough, I don't mind the lawnmower in gold and black, but I don't think it would last for very long if you're going like in the bottom of my field and mowing the lawn for half a day.
All right. I don't know. I just thought that was pretty neat, man. They just vinyl wrapped. It's like I always forget that Honda does lawnmowers and generators and stuff like that, and then to see it, I was like, oh yeah, check that out.
So we've also got another fun thing in the news. So apparently, calling tires shoes just got real.
Yeah. Let's see. The story is the pictures are from USA Today.
Yeah. So apparently, at a New York Fashion Week after party on February 9th, designer John Elliott revealed white tires based on Nike's Air Force One sneakers.
There we go.
So that's interesting. I'm not sure if I actually like the look of the sneakers though. Although we don't call them sneakers here. So.
Yeah. I mean, I wonder if that's a functional tire at that. I wonder if it's even drivable. Is that just on there just for show? Do you think it's solid?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, you'd assume that rubber can be dyed more than one color. I mean, you got to think about it as well. Like, it's like the drifting tires, the ones that smoke up different colors.
Right.
So they've got dies and stuff like that in them. So you'd assume that you'd be able to do that. I mean, for all we know, they probably just covered the wheel and then just spray painted the tire white and then just took pictures.
Yeah.
But it looks really weird because it looks like in that picture as well that they've turned around and they've sort of frosted out the front window.
Yeah. I don't know if that's... Yeah, I don't know what's up with that.
So either Kate Winslet and what's his face, Turnip Head.
Oh, DiCaprio.
Yeah, DiCaprio in there, and you're going to see a handprint come up onto the window in a moment, but it just looks pants.
They were in there really passionate about those new tires and...
Yeah. Maybe she'll
it
sit down. Maybe she'll sit down and get drawn next to it.
Right. Draw me like one of your French girls, Marcus.
Indeed, indeed.
So the tires were shown on a white Lexus UX crossover SUV to match the shoe's iconic white on white design. So here's a picture of the shoe that the tires are based off of, and a little better look at the actual tire itself. And I mean, I'm cool with like the white rubber. That's all right, but you know,
tread pattern.
Yeah, there's no way this is like actually drivable. I wouldn't imagine.
No, I mean you hit your first patch of water and you're going to aquaplane all over the place.
Right.
If anything, as well, the way that the tread pattern's placed, it's going to sort of try and push the tire inwards as you go over it. So it's going to lift the front end up when you go over any water when you're aquaplaning, and it's just going to be awful. Whereas at least normal tires actually try and displace it to the outside of the wheel. But yeah, that looks pretty awful, to be honest.
So we got a quote here. Lisa, I'm going to try not to butcher this. Matarazzo?
I think so.
You know, she's Lexus's vice president of marketing, said the Lexus UX was engineered and designed for the city. We wanted to push that concept even further by creating the ultimate homage to urban style. Tires inspired by classic street style sneakers. So
yeah.
On the side of this UX, it's even got a John Elliott, I don't know if it's painted in or if it's just a custom badge. It looks like just white lettering on the side of it, but got a couple more pictures here. I like the white accents on the wheels. That looks okay.
Oh yeah. I don't mind the white accent on the wheels. It gives it some sort of depth. But yeah, the tire looks awful. If anything, it looks the way that it sort of goes. It almost looks as if it's actually like a rear motorbike wheel.
Yeah, it looks real thin to be on an SUV, doesn't it?
Mm. But then on top of that, it's just the way that it sort of like the conical sort of shape to it actually does look like it's not flat, but it obviously is. It's just the way that the picture's taken.
Yeah. All right. Well, moving on to our next story. This story and pictures are from autoblog.com. Do I have pictures for this? Oh, yeah, I do. Okay. All right. Here we go. Based on sales for the month of February and orders that are coming in, there's a Ford assembly plant that was previously building the Focus, so that makes me sad, has switched over to a different vehicle, and they're working what Ford calls massive overtime.
So Ford says about 300,000 people have made hard commitments to purchase the new Ford Ranger truck. The comparison last year, the Toyota sold around 250,000 units. Both trucks are in the mid-size truck category. The assembly plant that previously built the Focus changes the line over to build body-on-frame vehicles like the Ranger and possibly the 2020 Ford Bronco. While calling for massive overtime, Ford didn't explain what massive exactly meant to the media.
I feel for them. I've suffered through enough overtime. I feel for these guys.
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, you got to think about it. At the end of the day, you think, oh, they're turning around saying, you've got overtime coming, dudes. And they're like, oh, right, okay. Yeah, it's big, and they're probably just like completely being nailed to the ground with it at the moment.
So we got so many orders for these trucks that everybody's going to work over, which I think is kind of, I don't know. No, Ford announced earlier that they were going to cut the Fiesta and they were going to cut the Focus, and the only car they were going to have would be the Mustang. So they really just doubled down on trucks and SUVs now. And
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I understand the value of a truck, especially when it's time to move or you need to go get something big. I completely get it. But I'm just not a fan of trucks or SUVs.
As an everyday vehicle, no, but as an actual, if you're using it as a proper utility vehicle, then yeah. But then I'm one of those people that I have vehicles that do specific things, and that's why I have them.
Yeah.
Not just because I think they look cool or tough or something like that.
I think these new Rangers look good, and it's nice to see the Ranger name come back, so I'll give them that.
Yeah, no, I'll give them that. I mean, they do look good, and they don't look too outlandish. So, I'm, give them the credit where credit's due. It doesn't look awful, but it doesn't look massively different.
No. Have you seen the? I don't have a picture of it ready, but have you seen the Bronco, the 2020 Bronco?
No, I haven't actually bothered looking at that yet.
Yeah, it's not.
But then I'm just not one of those people that are into like large vehicles like that. Although we're now possibly looking at getting a 4x4 at some point to replace the van once we finally get rid of it.
You're gonna miss that van, Marcus. Maybe.
I'm gonna miss the 2.5 litre turbo goodness when you're going down a dual carriageway to work.
Right.
I'm not, however, going to miss the large bills that go with said engine, like, I don't know, off the top of my head, gearbox selector fork, cam, head, twice, injectors. What else did I have? Oh yeah, the aircon doesn't exactly work on it at the moment either.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, it's just a load of stuff. But then I don't really use aircon either, so
That'll be somebody else's problem this summer.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. It's currently on sale at the moment. So
There you go.
we'll see. Got a couple of people interested, but nothing solid yet.
They get in there and turn that air conditioner on though, and then well, they won't try it out in the winter. This time, sell it while you can. Tell them it works fine. Tell them you live in 6B.
Yeah, fuck 6B. Yeah, maybe I should just drive it through their front house and then claim it off the insurance and say it was stolen.
Right, there you go. There's always a plan. You can always get rid of it.
Legit. It's a legit way of doing it, I suppose.
Well, Marcus, I hate to wrap up the news segment with bad news, but this story, I've used these products before, so I felt it was worthy of a mention. Now, I've heard his name pronounced Haynes, which is how I say it, and then I've heard people say his last name is Haynes.
Nope, it's Haynes.
All right, good. We're going with Haynes.
Yep.
John Haynes, creator of the Haynes car manuals, passed away on February 8th. And when I would get a new car as a kid, I only got like two, the Chrysler and then a Sunbird. But I remember getting the Sunbird, and then the first thing, it was almost like mandatory, was I went and got a Haynes manual for that car.
Yeah, no, I pretty much had the same thing. I think actually where I'm sat at the moment on one of the shelves, I can see a Haynes manual stacked up for one of my dad's cars on the shelf over on the wall. But yeah, it's the same as always. So when a fellow service member purchased a tired Austin Healey Bug-Eye Sprite, Haynes agreed to help him tear the car down and rebuild it, only to realise that factory service manuals were not written with a shade tree mechanic in mind. I'm not sure if I know that.
Yeah, shade tree mechanic, that's me. That's like you just work on the car in your yard and you pull it under a tree to get out of the sun.
Fair enough.
It's me. He's talking about me.
Talking about you. Yeah, I think they call us YouTube mechanics now, funnily enough.
All right.
It's fairly apt, actually. Sensing an opportunity, Haynes bought a camera and carefully documented the teardown and rebuilding of the Sprite's engine and other major systems. His text included exploded diagrams as well as pictures, something that would become a signature of the manuals that would soon bear his name. In 1965, the first Haynes manual covering the Austin Healey Sprite was published in a run of 3,000 copies. It sold out in fewer than 90 days.
Oh, that's great. Since then, Haynes Publishing, which was listed on the London Stock Exchange in 1979, has published more than 200 million manuals worldwide, covering everything from cars and motorcycles to more whimsical topics such as specific Formula One cars, electric locomotives, and even the space shuttle. And I've seen a couple Haynes manuals for like the Millennium Falcon and the Death Star and just like the U.S. space shuttles and stuff like that. So he had fun with it too.
Yeah, I can imagine. There was a lot of things. I think there was actually, when I had my first child, my parents-in-law, as a present, gave me a Haynes manual for children.
Oh, yeah? That's cool.
Like how to change a nappy and stuff like that. Not knowing that I've already done a lot of that already, and now I'm like 3 years in.
How to change the oil on these kids.
Yeah, yep, how to change the oil in the kids. Just turn them upside down.
Right.
And then just shower them in it. It's fine.
All right. Well, rest in peace, Mr. Haynes. You will be missed greatly, sir.
Indeed.
All right. Let's move on to our feature segment, Marcus. What is a Resvani tank? Do you have any idea?
It's huge.
It is huge.
It's huge. But no, I don't know a massive amount of it.
I got some pictures here. My boss went out for lunch one day, and he knows about Modology and like my love for cars and stuff. And he sent me these two pictures. Let me pull them up. And he said, "What is this?" And I said, I have no idea. What is that?
I think you sent me those images as well, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you sent that over to me. I was like, whoa, that thing's sick.
So I zoomed in. I think it's this one. Let me see. No, not. Oh, yeah. It says tank right here on the side of it. And I was like, well, all right. And I think on this one, no, you can't see it. But on the back of it, it says Resvani on the back. And I was like, what is this thing? I've never even heard of this. So we went to a little Googling, and I went to Resvani's website. And I'll play this video for you for the Resvani tank. It's not really, they don't really talk a lot about it, but it's a good fly around, and it shows some of the features of it. So we'll check this out. All right, so if you're listening to the audio version of the podcast, I would definitely recommend going over to our website and checking out the show notes, because I'll have this video in the
Live stream's offline at the moment. Hey, I think we're coming back. But yeah, I think the audio for the Resvani Tank wasn't coming through on the stream.
Okay. Yeah, it was showing it on my end, but I don't know.
I think I think it's the same issue that we had with doing the videos on my end.
Yeah.
That unfortunately couldn't get the sound through. So
well, luckily there wasn't much to hear on there anyway, except it starting and stuff like that. So
yeah.
Well, what was your first impression, Marcus?
That thing looks tough, but it looks like it needs to be wider rather than taller.
Yeah, it's pretty tall and very black. That was my first impression. I was like, because they showed it like in a dark room at first, and I was like, God, turn the lights on. What is this?
They like making these things moody, though, don't they?
Oh, yeah. So, all right. So this is what Resvani has to say about their tank. Now, it comes in 3 different trim levels. There's the Tank X, and the Tank Military. So the tank, just the basic tank, starts at $165,000. Then, these are your options from there, okay? Which I guess, does it not come with an engine because you have these extra prices for the engines? You can get a 6.4 liter 500 horsepower V8 for $32,000.
Yeah.
Or the way to go, a 6.2 liter 7.7 supercharged Hellcat V8 for $65,000.
The 6.2 liter 700 is that 707 horsepower?
I think so.
Wow.
That's a lot. I wonder how.
Yeah.
That's a big tank, though. It probably needs it.
Yeah, you'll probably. I mean, wonder what the nuts of 60 ton on that thing is.
Who knows? Let's see. You can get an off-road package for an extra $5,500. That has a 6-inch lift and 37 by 12.5-inch tires. Or the off-road extreme package for $12,500 with a 6-inch lift, 37 by 12.5-inch tires, and Fox 2.5-inch internal bypass shocks with DSC 6-inch lift. And then it just gets crazier from there. So I can understand having it big and up and high and off the road, but then you can get things like a FLIR thermal night vision camera for an extra $5,500. The leather package for $3,500 that includes leather seats but a suede headliner.
Okay.
The tow package for $8,500 with a tow hitch and a Dana 60 axle, which is a decent axle to have in the back, so that's all right.
I don't know much about 4x4s and stuff like that, so I'm assuming that the Dana axle is good.
Yeah, the Dana 60 is kind of tried and true and proven itself, so it's a good choice for a rear end.
Yeah.
And then you can have the convenience package for another $5,500 that includes the automatic opening and closing side steps to climb in and out of this huge tank.
All right. So what? You open the door and the micro switch hits, and then you just see these little side steps just come out.
Yep. And then they hide on their own when you shut it. So that's the tank, just the basic tank. And then your options for it. Now the Tank X starts at $259,000, and it seems to come in either black or red. But it looks like the tank just comes in black. I couldn't find any color options on their website, but it comes in red, and it also has, I think I got a picture of this. Hang on, it's got a red leather interior on the Tank X. Let me see. It actually looks kind of good. I like it. Here it is.
Is it dark red, is it?
There we go.
Okay.
No, it's definitely not like a burgundy. It's red, but I like it. I like it with the black. That looks good, I think.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it looks all right, but it it almost looks like they've inlaid it with like somebody's 6-pack.
Yeah, that's a very beefy seat.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I prefer it in black though. But
no, too big. Okay, there we go.
Doesn't that one come with the Hellcat engine as standard? That one as well?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the Tank X comes with standard with the Hellcat engine and red seats.
Ooh, red seats.
Then we get to the top of the line, Marcus.
Yep, the Tank Military Edition.
Yeah.
So this one just looks ridiculous. I think It starts at $295,000, and the standard features are the following: bulletproof opaque glass and body armor, underside explosive protection for when you're really, really having fun going to the supermarket.
Right.
Electromagnetic pulse protection. So, if someone lets off a nuclear explosion just above the stratosphere around your location, then you're still going to be rolling. It also can emit smoke screens. Has thermal night vision system, a fuel tank wrap, electronic scan detection system, radiator protection, reinforced suspension, ram bumpers, military run flat tires, electrified door handles, just in case you really don't want that guy who's washing your windows to try and open your door to get paid.
Right.
Siren and horn options, strobe lights, blinding lights, intercom system, magnetic deadbolts, gas masks, first aid kits, and a hypothermia kit. It also has optional equipment, which is the engine options. So we've got the standard 6.4 litre 500 horsepower V8. As per the rest of them, the optional 6.2 litre 707 supercharged Hellcat V8 for an extra 29,000. The off-road package, once again, with the lift. So I think we've gone through all of this already, but
yeah, all that looks the same.
37-inch lift to 12 and 12.5-inch tires, dynamic roof, Pro Rock 4460 axle set with the lockers. That's not on the other one, actually, is it?
No, that's got automatic 4-wheel drive, pretty much auto locking hubs on the front.
Yep, so electronic lockers on the front and rear, 13-15 drive shafts, Fox 2.5 remote reservoir shocks, and it has a leather package option, which is 10 leather seat styles to choose from, and a suede headliner.
Yeah, on the website I couldn't find any of the other seats besides just the red ones. So
they obviously like those ones a lot.
Yeah, it showed like black ones with gold stitching. I saw those, but I couldn't really see. I didn't find the Louis Vuitton or the Gucci covered seats for it. So I'm sure they're on there somewhere.
Well, I tell you what, if anyone wants to tweet at Resvani, and if they have any of these in the UK, tweet at them and make them give me a test drive. Right. And then I can drive it over to my work and run over my boss.
Marcus said the one with the Hellcat, preferably.
Oh, yeah, definitely. That'll work quite nicely down the dual carriageways. Although I wouldn't mind the military version with the blinding lights and the smoke screen.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. If you look at like the options on the military edition, it's like you get all that stuff, the EMP protection, the blast shields, the, bulletproof everything. And then the optional equipment is like the comfort stuff pretty much. The leather package, the convenience package.
Yeah.
So you get a tank first with that one, and then you get comfort as an option after that.
Yeah.
So that's the Resvani Tank. Resvani also makes a sports car called the Beast. And I would recommend, I don't have any pictures of it ready, and there's 3 different versions of the Beast. There's like an Alpha Blackbird Edition Beast, but check out Resvani's website and check the Beast out on your own, because it's a pretty wild sports car.
I'm surprised that I haven't seen these in movies yet.
Yeah, I know. I haven't seen that time on that trailer where my boss saw them. That's the first time I've ever seen this car, or this SUV, or this tank, or whatever it is. The tank.
It's a tank UV.
Yeah, it definitely is. It is not far from like a legit tank, especially that military edition.
Yeah, I'd love to drive that. I'd love to take it out and do a proper sort of look at it.
Yeah.
But alas, it's never going to happen. Well, you never know.
You never know.
You never know. Everybody, tweet Resvani. Tell him some random guy in the UK wants to take one out for a spin.
We need a tank to drive.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Well, I've got Salisbury Plain literally like 15 to 20 minute drive away from me, so
be a good place.
Bad enough.
That's a good place to test them out.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's where they do military exercises and stuff like that all the time. So
that's perfect.
Yeah. It's quite strange because like all of these people are turning around and say to me, it must be hell when people are out on the battlefield and all the rest of it, and you know nothing about it, and I'm like, oh, well, I get that like every couple of weekends. You just hear bombs going off and automatic gunfire and tanks. Yeah. We've also got tank crossings over there as well.
In the Facebook chat, Ricky Meyer says he's seen the military version of it in Miami.
Yeah.
So they are out there, definitely, then.
I think he just jumped on the YouTube chat as well.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right. Well, let's move on to our news now, the Modology news and updates. So I kind of teased it a little bit earlier, but we're giving away a dash cam.
We are.
The Anchor Rove A1, like you can see in the review video, and I'm also giving away a 16 gigabyte micro SD card with it, so it's ready to go out of the box. Other prizes include a Modology t-shirt for second prize, and one of these hot Modology vinyl decals for third place. Last day to enter is March 20th at midnight, Eastern Standard Time. I'll be choosing winners on Saturday the 23rd, and to enter the giveaway, at the top of the page at modologymotorsports.com, you'll see where it says giveaway. Click that. Then at the very bottom of that page, it shows the prizes, and at the bottom of the page, you enter your email address on the bottom. And it's also got the links to our social media right above it, so it's not mandatory to subscribe or like or add any of our social media, but it's definitely appreciated. So
yeah. The last day to enter the giveaway is the first day of spring, and also the launch of the Modology Motorsports 18-wheeler dashcam video.
Yeah.
The teaser video is available now on YouTube channel. It's not quite the end of February yet, but so far this month we've uploaded 5 new videos, 2 of which are new rain day series called the Video Game Garage.
Yeah, Video Game Garage. We picked up this game. It's called, what's it called, Marcus? Car Mechanic Simulator 2018. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. So, Marcus and I've streamed 2 different episodes of it. I'm going to try and keep them around an hour apiece. And Marcus and I had kind of talked about taking the save file and swapping it, and I kind of screwed that up by downloading a bunch of mods for it. So Marcus said, screw you, and he downloaded his own version of it, and he's played way more than I have. But you can check out the Video Game Garage, and there's also going to be a UK garage. Isn't that right, Marcus?
Yep. So I'm going to start getting it all up together, and then I'll be streaming that as well. I'm probably going to end up making a new one so that it's not so far ahead, or I might just choose specific like projects and stuff like that to do, and just use my experience and extra cash that I've got at the moment to be able to do some interesting ones. So we might throw out some questions as to what you want us to do, and we'll give you some options, and then we'll go from there maybe.
Nice.
But yeah, other videos this month included the Ford Focus C-Tech valve cover removal, the Anchor Rove A1 dash camera view and giveaway, which seemed to pick up really quickly, actually.
Yeah.
So check this one out to see the setup and video quality of the dash cam before you enter. The link to enter the contest is also available in the video description. The dash cam compilations 4.
That'll be the last one, hopefully, with the old cameras, I hope. Even though I've still got my old camera in the Toyota, and I've got a couple clips here lately, but hopefully by dash cam 6 or so, it'll be all completely swapped over.
Yeah, but it is so different. The difference in it is...
Yeah.
You said to me in the message, you said, oh, it is really different. And I just didn't quite understand until I watched it. I was like, you saw that last clip, and I was like, oh.
Oh, it is really different.
It really is different.
Let's see, and we had some great feedback. We had a lot of comments lately on some of the YouTube videos, and we had some great feedback from J. Chris Beck on the valve cover removal video. It seems like he was going to take the belt tensioner off his Focus, and hopefully found the video useful. He did join the Modology Facebook group, and through that I was able to click on his Facebook profile and then spy on his on his profile because, you got to check for spies. But he had a picture of his belt tensioner on there, and I asked him about could I use the picture, but he never replied. But anyway, like his belt tensioner and idler pulley had just fallen completely apart.
Whoa.
Yeah, like ours was just loose. His is completely busted. But so we got a great conversation with him, and he's moved over to the Facebook group. So we continued the conversation there, and enjoyed conversing with a new member. But I also shared the dash cam video to some of the, not just our Facebook group, but some of my like local Facebook groups for my town. And there's also a subreddit for my town. And I share it there too. Anyway, the dash cam videos have generally been pretty well received. But sometimes when you post things on Reddit, you get you get some backlash sometimes. So on Dashcam Comp 4 on Reddit, we got the following.
Hang on a second, Blake. I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of food down for the trolls.
All right.
Yep. Carry on.
All right. He says, here we go. As self-righteous as you are, your left turn while pedestrians were still well within the crosswalk, practically in your lane at 55 seconds, was a rather egregious and illegal error, wouldn't you say? Okay, look. To which I would reply, well, I didn't mow the people down. I did have the green turn arrow. I pulled out in the intersection so they know I was there because they were talking and not paying any attention. And I waited until I had room to get through, so, but at least with your comment, I know you at least watched up to 55 seconds of the dashcam video, and therefore, buddy, that's greatly appreciated.
That's 55 extra seconds of viewed time that goes towards finally getting us our sweet YouTube money.
That's right. That's right. And Marcus, are you familiar with the Beatles by any chance?
I am.
Even the Beatles, buddy, they had people that didn't like them. So if the Beatles couldn't please everybody, we can't please anybody.
True.
Or please everybody. We can't please anybody.
We suck.
But I look at it as critics are a sign of accomplishment. If you got people not liking something you did, then A, they're watching it. But then if they're going to disagree with what you do, then there's plenty of people that do agree with what you do. So if they're going to hate it, at least they're watching it to hate it. So
true.
There's that.
Very true.
All right. And now I guess we need to do... We missed out on the last episode of... We had some troubles with Season 2, Episode 1 for... getting the stream going, and we completely forgot about our top videos for the last 28 days by minutes viewed. Now, it's usually something we go over to let you know which videos are leading the pack, and then you can see if one of the kings has been knocked from the throne. Marcus, have you got that pulled up?
Yeah, I've just got that up now. So
let's do the top 5.
So the top 5. So at number, wait a minute. Yep. So at number 5 is the Ford Focus belt tensioner and pulley, and that one's at 1,654.
And that's been up this month. That went up this month, and it's already in the top 5. So
exactly, it's doing really well already.
All right.
So at number 4 is the Honda Civic Brake Master cylinder, which is doing pretty well actually, still at 4,495.
Staying on the list.
Oh yes. And at number 3, the Ford Focus radiator replacement at 5,542.
Was that in 3rd place now?
3rd.
Oh no.
Yep. Slipping down. Maybe people are now saturating the market with actual fixed Ford Focus radiators.
Maybe.
Yep. And number 2 is the Ford Focus door handle replacement, and that's at 7,053.
That's a lot of busted door handles, Marcus. Ain't nobody getting in their Focuses no more.
Oh yeah. So at number 1, with actually quite a hefty amount of viewed minutes,
Jesus,
is the Honda Accord cylinder head removal video at 20,769.
For 28 days.
For 28 days.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. But looking at the stats as well, because we're sad, myself and Blake, we message each other quite a lot about random things. Like, we get exceedingly excited when like somebody subs. So I think we're at like 211, 212 subs now.
Yeah, I think it's 212. I think I just noticed that when I checked this a second ago. Yeah,
Yeah.
212.
Yeah. So for the past year, we've got 212 subs now, but our watched time in minutes is now at 241,852.
That's
which
great.
means we've hit that at the moment. We're over 50,000 views for the year as well. What else was there that we need? We need 1,000 subs, which we don't have yet, but we're picking up subs really quickly now, which is really awesome.
Yeah.
So thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you. If you subscribe, we appreciate it. If you're on the fence thinking about it, it would be greatly appreciated.
Yeah, I mean, if we can get more subscriptions and stuff like that, then we might be able to get some more interesting content up together and see what we can do.
Absolutely. I haven't checked all the videos, but I went through some of them and went to Google, just not logged in, just went to Google, clicked on the videos tab, typed in like the most vague description I could that was kind of related to our videos. Like, I put in Honda Accord cylinder head, and our video in Google Videos, which is YouTube, is the first one to pop up. There was 5 of them. The Caterham was the first one to pop up. What else was there? I've got them here. Let's see. The Ford Focus radiator replacement. First video to pop up when you search for Ford Focus radiator replacement. Imagine that. Honda Civic Brake Master cylinder. First one to pop up. Auto Drive dash cam review. It gives you our video. So that's 5 videos that are the #1 return when you search, like, for their query. Our videos are the first ones to show up, and I think that's awesome.
It is awesome. I just don't know how we've managed to do it.
I don't either.
Dumb luck.
I don't know it.
Emphasis on the dumb.
Yeah, that was. I think the radiator was the first one I looked up because it was like the first one that got like super popular. And I just typed in like Ford Focus radiator, and I'll be damned, that's the first video to pop up, and I was like, oh my god, that's amazing. And then I kind of went through and started checking on some of the other ones that were doing like extremely well, and yeah, they're all at the. But the Focus door handle video is not in the top 10 even of door handle repair videos, and it's still getting that many views.
Yeah, it's doing really well.
That's great.
It might start moving up the ranks. See.
I hope so. I hope one day I'll click on it and it'll just be there, right there, #1. Put that on my business cards, buddy. We got 5 videos, the #1. Now give us some give us some free products.
Now.
Don't you know who we are? I told Marcus, I said we're talking about, big dreaming that one day we'll get to go to SEMA, and do some shows there, or, go and record content for the channel. And I was like, well, forget this, buddy. We're going to go to SEMA. We're just going to get a booth so we can sign autographs.
I think we might be fooling ourselves on that one, but you never know.
It's big dreams. It's big dreams.
Big dreams. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Well, all right, Marcus, let's wrap this thing up and get out of here because we're right at an hour for this episode. If you want to send us an email, tell us about your car, tell us how awesome we are, and, if you have feedback for the show,
Modology shoot the shit.
Yeah, we don't mind. Modology Motorsports at gmail.com.
You can catch us at Modology Motors on Twitter.
We have this awesome Facebook group. You get to it at facebook.com/group/Modology Motorsports. Or you can hit us up on our personal Twitters. I'm at Hesser414.
And I'm at Brunt_Marcus.
All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us today for Season 2, Episode 2, and we will see you next time.
Brilliant. Cheers, guys.